Today we are going to learn about naming ionic compounds. Our question of the day is, what is the importance of scientists all over the world using the same periodic table even if they don't speak the same language? So, we are learning how to name ionic compounds. Remember, a compound is a pure substance that is formed when two or more elements bond together. Binary compound is a compound composed of two elements. And ternary compound is composed of more than two elements. It's made up of at least one polyatomic, bonded to another ion. So how do we name binary compounds? Well, first we write the name of the cation, which is almost always a metal. However, it can be a polyatomic or sometimes a metalloid. For number 2, we're going to write the name of the anion, but change the ending to "ide." You know how a person's last name can change after they get married? Well, that's pretty much what's happening here. The cation and anion are getting married, and the anion changes the last part of its name to "ide." Here are some examples of binary compounds. Ca is calcium, Cl is chlorine, so the name of the compound is calcium chloride. Here we have potassium is K and S is sulfur, so we change it to potassium sulfide. The Al is aluminum and the Br is bromine, so we change it to aluminum bromide. And then lastly, we have Na is sodium and O is oxygen, so it becomes sodium oxide. So now that we know how to write a name, how do we write the formula if someone gives us the name? Well, first you have to figure out the charges using the periodic table. Then you crisscross the charges, not the sign, just the charges, and check to see if there's any way to reduce. Let's try some examples. Lithium is Li, and nitride is actually nitrogen, which is N. So Li plus 1, N minus 3. When you cross the charges, you get Li3N. Now, calcium, Ca, has a plus 2 charge. Phosphide means we use phosphorus, which is P and has a minus 3 charge. So calcium phosphide, when we cross our charges, is Ca3P2. Magnesium oxide has magnesium, Mg, and oxide or oxygen, O minus 2. When we cross our charges, we get Mg2O2, which simplifies to MgO. Finally, we have barium sulfide. Barium is Ba, has a plus 2 charge, and sulfide is sulfur, which has a minus 2 charge. When we cross our charges, we get Ba2S2, which we can then divide both of the subscripts by 2 and simplify it to BAS. Now that we've looked at some basic binary compounds, what about binary compounds that have transition metals in them? Well, since transition metals can change their charge, we have to indicate how many electrons were lost. We do this by using a Roman numeral to indicate the charge on the cation. Make sure to always put the Roman numeral in parentheses after the name of the cation. Let's look at some examples. Cobalt-2 oxide. Cobalt-2 means you have CO with a plus 2 charge, and oxide is oxygen, or O minus 2. So what we have when we crisscross is CO2, O2, which simplifies down to COO. Then we have iron 3 sulfide, which is Fe with a plus 3 charge, and sulfur, or S with a minus 2 charge. When we cross our charges, we get Fe2S3. Now for vanadium 5 chloride, we're going to use V with a +5 charge and Cl for chlorine, which has a -1 charge. Cross your charges and you get VCl5. Finally, let's look at gold 1 hydride. Well, gold is Au, it has a +1 charge, and hydride is hydrogen, which is an H that would normally have a +1 charge. However, because we already have a cation, it forms a -1 charge instead, and we cross the charges to get AuH. Now let's look at some examples where we're doing the opposite. We're going from the compound to the name. First, let's look at NiCl2. Well, if we uncrisscross our charges, we get nickel, which has a +2 charge, and chlorine, which has a -1 charge. Since nickel is a transition metal, we name it as nickel 2 chloride. Let's consider what happens when we have Cu2S. Well, here, if we uncrisscross our charges, we get Cu has a +1 charge and S has a -2 charge. That means that since copper is our transition metal, we're going to have copper 1 sulfide. Make sure you remember to change the suffix of or ending of the second element. Now look at number 3, NiBr3. Ni is nickel and Br is bromine, which changes to bromide. To get the charge in parentheses, we uncrisscross and we get Ni is +3 and Br is -1. Since Br is -1, we can put the charge of the nickel, the 3, as a Roman numeral in parentheses. Now we're going to look at TiO2. Ti is titanium, O2 is oxygen, which changes to oxide, and when we uncrisscross, we get Ti +2, O -1. However, oxygen is -2, so we then have to multiply both our charges by 2, and titanium is actually a +4 ion. So it's titanium 4 oxide. Now that we've looked at a bunch of binary compound, let's look at polyatomic compounds. So the names of polyatomic ions are found on the table in your notes. The names of these ions never change. Depending on the metal, it may or may not need a Roman numeral. Now let's look at some examples. First one is MgSO4. Mg is on the periodic table as magnesium. SO4 is on our chart as sulfate. Since magnesium is not a transition metal, we don't need to include the Roman numeral. Now let's look at the next problem. NH4 2CO3. Now this one is actually made up of 2 polyatomic ions. There's the NH4 or ammonium in parentheses and the CO3 or carbonate, which is not in parentheses, but you can tell they're supposed to be together because it's not a single element, it's multiple elements put together. Now we have MnCr2O7 Well, Mn is manganese and Cr2O7 is on our chart as dichromate, so we can name it manganese dichromate. However, manganese is a transition metal, so we need to find its charges by uncrisscrossing. When we do that, we get Mn with a +2 and Cr2O4, which is a -1. However, Cr2O7 actually has a -2 charge, so we have to double what we got, and it is manganese 4 dichromate. Now, let's look at the final example, BaNO2 2. Ba is barium, and NO2 is nitrite. So we have barium nitrite. Let's try going the other way. Here we have the name ammonium chloride. Ammonium is on the polyatomic chart as NH4 plus 1, and chloride is chlorine, which is Cl and has a -1 charge. So when you crisscross the charges, you get NH4Cl. Now, let's look at the next example, potassium permanganate. Potassium is K and has a +1 charge. If we look at our chart, we can find permanganate, which is MnO4 with a -1 charge. Crisscross, and we are left with KMnO4. Now let's look at the next example, sodium chlorate. Sodium is Na and has a +1 charge. Chlorate is ClO3 and has a -1 charge. Crisscross to get NaClO3. Now let's look at the next example, lead to nitrate. Lead is Pb and has a +2 charge. According to the Roman numeral, nitrate is on our chart as NO3 -1. When we crisscross our charges, we get PbNO3 2. Make sure you include the parentheses. Next, we have silver chromate. Silver is on the periodic table as Ag, and it has a +1 charge. Chromate is CrO4 with a -2 charge, and when we crisscross our charges, we get Ag2CrO4. Now, pause the video and try the show what you know questions. Let's have a look at strontium fluoride. Strontium is Fr and fluoride is fluorine, which is F. Now, Sr has a +2 charge and F has a -1 charge. So when we crisscross them, we get SrF2. Now let's look at chromium 2 oxide. Chromium is a transition metal with a +2 charge in this case, so Cr plus 2, and oxide means oxygen, which is O with a -2 charge. Crisscross, we get Cr2O2, which simplifies to CrO. Now let's look at iron 3 carbonate. Iron is Fe. It has a +3 charge in this case due to the Roman numeral, and carbonate is on our list. So let's look at CO3 with a -2 charge. When we crisscross these, we get Fe2CO3. 3. Now let's continue. We have ammonium nitrate. Ammonium is on our chart as NH4 plus 1. Nitrate is on our chart as NO3 minus 1. So when we crisscross, we get NH4NO3. Now let's look at magnesium phosphate. Magnesium is Mg plus 2. Phosphate is PO4 minus 3. When we crisscross these, we get Mg3PO4 2. Now we have titanium, or Ti, with a +2 charge, and sulfide, which stands for sulfur and is S minus 2. When we crisscross our charges, we get Ti2S2, which simplifies to TiS. Let's do one last round of mixed practice. Here we have BaSO4. Ba is barium and SO4 is sulfate, So our compound is barium sulfate. Next, let's look at CS2O. CS is cesium and O is oxygen, which changes to oxide, so we have cesium oxide. Now, let's look at Mn2O7. If you try crisscrossing your charges, then you get Mn plus 7 and O minus 2. Since oxygen does indeed have a minus 2 charge, we are left with manganese 7 oxide. Now, don't forget the 7 is because manganese is a transition metal. Now, let's look at LiMnO4. Li is lithium off the periodic table, and MnO4 is permanganate, according to the chart. Now, let's look at CuO. Cu is copper, a transition metal, so we will need to find the charge. To do this, we will crisscross and get Cu plus 1, O minus 1. However, O is oxygen, which always has a minus 2 charge, so we need to double our copper as well and get Cu2 or copper 2 oxide. Remember, the oxide comes from oxygen changing its ending.